Royce Unchained, it will at least start with Judd, Declan, and of course Patrick Royce. And how about those fighting Twinks, Patrick? Now you got three big games coming up against the Royals this weekend.
Yes, they squeezed one out yesterday, and they managed to get a split with a very impotent Tampa Bay lineup down there. 2-2, but any wins now are good wins considering they're playing with the B squad. So it's interesting situation. They're 5.5, right? They're 5.5 ahead now for the last wild card. Is that right?
Yes.
And they're a one ahead of, or a half ahead of Kansas City.
Correct. And 4
So,
back at Cleveland.
And they've already. Well, I'm not worried about kids. They're not catching anybody, but they can. If they win, what do they got? 22 left. If they win 11 of them, that'll be 87 wins. That'll be a pretty good season with considering they got a starting rotation now with 3 rookies in it for which isn't all bad because they're not going anywhere anyway if they do make the playoffs. So they might as well get their starters ready. Well, who do you like? I like Festa better than this guy that's pitching tonight, Matthews. Am I right on that or not, Declan?
I think so. Fest is ahead. The interesting thing with him is if Simeon starts game 3, which I think he would start a game 3 if they got there, do you piggyback Sim for 3 innings? Because Fest is really good the first time through. Is there a bulk or a piggyback between Simeon into Festa in a game 3 situation?
Well, I kind of like Festa with the high fastball. If if it's a high fastball that's a strike, and then he can throw that changeup. I like him better than Matthews. But Simeon, we got to get you. What are they saying about Simeon's fastball? She's down about into the 92s now. It's down a little bit.
It's dropping. Yep.
Well, he's tired. I mean,
he's been the savior. I mean, he saved the season basically. What happens if he doesn't show up and pitch well?
Yeah.
Pitch competitively.
I think we know
who's pitching. The Dauber. The Dauber was the Dauber here all year.
They're behind the Red Sox if that happens. I think I can safely say that.
Yes. Let's bring the Dauber had another good game the other day. Game or two ago.
Everybody stop.
I think
you're trolling.
Hey, they screwed up the Varland thing all season long.
Yep.
They could have had him in the bullpen. He's a 2-inning pitcher. And, the fact he wants to be a starter and you need a starter, well, if he's going to be an ineffective starter, then he's not a starter anyway. You might as well have Caleb Boschley be your backup starter, who you released 6 times and brought back. But, they should have had Varland in the bullpen at least since the middle of the season, I think. And
did you read Rocco's? Did you read Rocco's quotes about that though in Thursday's paper?
It made no sense to me because
he's talking himself into corners. I don't understand what he's saying anymore.
No, we need him. Yeah, well, he basically, I think, was saying, well, if we needed a starter, we had to have him stretched out. But then again, when he starts, he goes 2 1/3, or 3 1/3 or something. So, if there's ever been a guy who demonstrated to you that he's a reliever, it was the other night. He blows through 2 innings and then he gives up 8. So come on, let's get smart here. And I think he's in the pen now, right? He's in the pen. I got an idea. How about a lefty? We got one. There's 14 pitchers. We got one lefty. Poor old Caleb. What the hell? Why don't they like lefties? Why don't they have any lefties? I saw Hedrick pitch last night for St. Paul. He's probably going to come back here again.
Is Funderburk coming back too? I think Funderburk's coming back at some point, maybe.
But he just got transferred to the 60-day.
60-day, which does that put him to the end of the season then or not? I don't know.
It's retroactive. It might be
more of a formality. But at one point, they had 3 lefties in their pen. I mean, they had Funderburk, Okert, and Thielbar. They had a surplus, and now we can't find anyone to get anybody out.
What did they do to Giovanni? Did they give him some kind of surgery? He must have needed surgery, because he's out for the whole year. What happened to him? Do we know?
Are you talking about
Giovanni.
Oh, Giovanni Moran. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he was
think
I
going to
I
be a
forgot all
think
about him, to
lefty.
be honest.
yeah, I did
Yeah, he
too.
had some good. His stuff was okay though.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I don't know. It's a it's a mess. They're playing with the B squad here, and Buck. As we said last time, Buck left 2021 with the hip injury, missed 2 months.
Yes.
So and the way he walked off the field, he knew something was wrong, and you know. So yeah, you're getting Kersey and Austin Martin in center field the rest of the year. At least we won't have to see Manny Margot out there. I don't think now that Kersey's here, right?
No,
No
and
Manny, and
Yeah.
he's hurt.
he's
He's on the
Here's
hurt.
IL
my
too.
question: How is Santana? Because Carlos Santana, it looked like his wrist got bent on that tag
It is.
at the end,
What
so
was
we
that?
might have more
What was
problems.
Brooks? What was that throw from Brooks Lee?
Yeah. A
It's
horrible
an
throw.
easy
Not
throw
good.
right across from the infield. What the hell was that?
Yeah.
For sakes, And yeah, if Santana's got the bad wrist, man, he's surprise player of the season to me. When you saw him the first
You
month, you
think?
said, "My God, there's nothing here." And he got 22 home runs or something like that.
He's been
He's
fantastic,
had a terrific year.
and he might win a Gold
You know
Glove.
what? I am sure that they didn't keep Kepler because they thought that the last 2 months were real last year. I'm sure that nobody wanted him, right? Because he's 11 million and walking,
Mhm.
and he's a free agent. But God Almighty, they finally DL'd him because they kept saying, "Yeah, we don't think you're hurt," but he says he's hurt. So man, is that he's obviously out of here. You know who's been another savior? Wallner coming back and having
Oh God.
and being
Yes.
being good, because I
Yes.
wasn't sure we were ever going to see him again. Were you? When they
Once he got,
when they
I just thought in spring training he didn't just sort of struggle; he was awful. And I
yeah
thought if they let him go make corrections, he might be fine.
hmm
He's been superior, and the thing about that too, Patrick,
he's a
is
hell of an outfielder. Yeah.
that's what I was good. He sort of looks like a big oaf. That guy is athletic as hell. He can run. He is a really good player.
So I was switching back and forth from the Twins to the Tampa telecast yesterday, and the Tampa people were completely convinced he had time to stop when he was catching that ball down in the corner. Well,
No
that little
Oh
chance.
my!
fence there, he's running like hell to catch it.
Yeah.
How about the
It's
replay time? 10 minutes.
I would the bride wanted to know why I was screaming obscenities down in the basement last night, down in the den. What are they waiting for?
It was a double. It's
Two
just a
minutes.
bleeping double.
It's a 2 minutes. He isn't at first base yet. We can see that. He's lucky they gave him second base. So because he was jogging. What was he doing? Why was he jogging?
I don't know.
That's not full speed, for
But
God's sake.
we wait 10 minutes for the damn replay, and then Rocco comes out and makes a pitching change.
Yes. Well, I don't blame him for doing that, because Pablo just sat there for 10 minutes. But it was. How come nobody was more upset?
I don't know.
Why wasn't somebody out there screaming at him? You know. Uh, and then Cash wants to argue again when it's over. Listen, the way the guy was loafing,
Right.
he's lucky they gave him second base. So I don't know. And now, so Pablo he had good stuff last night. I'm surprised they managed to get 3 runs off him. He was throwing hard, man. He was he had good stuff. I say one thing, he's come back the last 6 weeks. He's been pretty good. He was, early in the year, you're saying, is this guy overrated? But he's been damn good. And of course, Ober's been good, but you go fly it into the playoffs with 2. Here's the bottom line. I'm actually writing a Twins column for tomorrow. Sonny Gray pitched 184 games last year, 184 innings, made 32 starts, and had a 2.79 ERA. And it's not that they were going to be replacing him, but they never tried. They never tried
Right.
to find some kind of a replica. And don't tell me it was DeSclafani, because they took him. they made him take him because they knew he was hurt, and then they talked about him. They didn't. They never tried to replace it, and you can't leave that size of hole in your starting rotation. Maeda made 22 starts too last year. He wasn't nearly as good, and I didn't want him back. But you can't just let that hole sit there in the middle of your rotation and say, "Nah, well, yeah, we'll be pretty good." Who before Simeon Woods Richardson? Who'd they try? I can't even remember. Who were they trying at the start of the season?
Well, Lou made a spot. Lou got the spot to start the year, and then I believe they just
Oh,
called
okay.
up Sim right
Lou tried it.
afterwards. Yeah,
Okay,
they gave
okay,
Lou
okay.
3
Yeah,
chances.
Lou.
He didn't
Yeah,
work, and
that's
Sims
right.
was up
That's
ever
right.
since.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Okay. And you know, I don't know. Last year you went in. Last year you had Gray and you had Lopez lined up, and they were playing pretty good down the stretch. So you had some optimism going into the playoffs. But I don't know who they can beat with this club they're putting on the field right now.
Well, yeah, if guys don't
Cray
come
and
back.
Buxton. And
Yeah.
you know what? I
Yeah.
didn't realize that I was looking back at it today. Buxton, when he got hit, when he got the bad hip in 2021, he was having a hell of a year. He was
Mm-hmm.
hitting like
All-star.
he ended up. I'm not a big WAR guy, but he had a 4.5 WAR that year, which they've said in the bio, the highest number ever for a guy who played less than 70 games
Yeah.
that year. It was, he was on a pace to be one of the better players in the league. And
But
then
Patrick, you
how
called
come he
this.
made the All Star? How come he made? How come he made the All Star team in 22? Because he was hitting 220 or something. That's weird. He made the All Star team in 22, which is weird.
You
Anyway,
called
yes.
this a long
What were
time
you going to
ago,
say?
Pat. Buxton has the bad skeleton. He just does.
Yes.
He's got a
Yeah.
bad.
He just
I mean,
does.
now it's a
Yeah,
hip.
he
He's
does.
far
And
too young of guy to have a bad hip condition problem, unless you got the bad
yes.
skeleton.
He does, and it's not because he's soft. It's not because he's soft. He has injuries, and he tries to play through them. And you knew it was bad when he just walked straight into the clubhouse the other day. August 12th it was 1 month
Mm-hmm.
after. Correa's
Boy.
been gone. I forgot he's been gone since July 12th. Very quietly, we don't know what the hell's going on with him. So it's and I mean, that guy was great this year. He was great when he started hitting. My God, he's a great shortstop. And, uh, you know, good luck. Willie Castro out there battling it, playing shortstop, did okay, but you can't replace greatness.
Right.
And they've found that out. You can't replace greatness in shortstop. You can't replace greatness in center field, and you can't replace a great big hole in the middle of your rotation, or the number 2 guy, or maybe one guy in your rotation without trying something. So
I
anyway,
thought of you last night, Patrick, watching what was a fabulous Chiefs and Ravens season opener. Though your guy, Sean Hockley, enforcing the new, if you're not on the line of scrimmage, you're in the backfield and you're an offensive
yeah,
lineman. 13 combined penalties. Sean Hockley we've talked about this for 5
he's
years.
a jackass.
It's
He just
incredible.
Yes. Instead of going in and say, if it's really obvious, fellas, don't call, unless it's really
Really
obvious. He
obvious.
goes in there and they love him. Why do they love him? Why do they love him?
The old man still have pull with the league?
I don't know. I don't know. That I give him the touchdown at the end, by the way. You could got to get in there. You can, I don't say his toe was on that line. I can't see that. I can see maybe the top of the shoe is. Doesn't it have to be the foot?
Yeah, the
I
toe
think
had to be touching the.
Yeah, it's out.
They said the toe was touching the white line. That's what it has to be.
Yeah.
But I didn't see.
If it's
the
above
toe
it, it can't.
touching.
That's a catch.
Yeah, well, it looked like it might have been above it. I don't know. They obviously did it, but Lamar, 2 other guys in the end zone before he threw that one.
Oh
Lamar,
God, Zay Flowers one was
overrated.
Yeah, 3 passes.
Yeah,
that was.
the Flowers one was. I mean, that dude was
Why
wide
do they
open.
come out? Why do they come out and play like a bunch of idiots in the first half, though?
Yeah. Yeah, they were bad.
Baltimore. Try to do something. They come out and play right into your hands, keep the game close. And if you keep it close, Mahomes is going to beat you. So, it's I don't know. Baltimore's stupid. They're gonna They got this guy playing quarterback. They got some talented fast receivers, and they're gonna play. Bash it into the middle. What Derrick Henry make about 1 yard a carry yesterday? So
Yeah, he's pretty big now.
unbelievable. But it's the NFL, baby. The ratings were probably 30. They probably had a 30 share, and you had to watch till the last second to see who won. That's the secret of success.
Couldn't go to bed. It was a hell of a game. Hell of a game.
I hope nobody gets knifed tonight in Brazil, and we get to play the poor Packer
No,
fans.
get
Whose
them out
home
of there.
game is it? Whose home game is it?
Packers.
Is it?
Packers.
So
They're
they
stealing one from Lambeau.
They stealing one from Lambeau? My God!
Everyone gets them stolen now, Pat.
But not all the time, right?
Well, it depends. If you have, I believe it's now, if you have the extra home game in the 17-game schedule, like it's a Vikings home game against the Jets. So the Packers and Vikings still have 8 home games. They just don't have the 9th game at home.
But how many foreign games are we playing now? A few in Europe, and what, 5 or 6 of them? Maybe one in Mexico.
Probably 5 or 6.
So they can. So every 3 years they'll take a game from you, or can they do it every year if they want to? Are there a lot of
every other?
Are there a lot of Packer fans in Brazil? Huh?
You're right, though. I'm concerned about them. Few beers there, they start to go out in the streets. Now we got chaos with Packer fans and the Brazilians. I don't like this idea. You're right.
But what have we heard? Are there a lot of Wisconsinites down there? Have we saved up all our money and gone down there or not?
The only thing I have heard is reporters cannot tweet. So the Eagles, the wives of the Eagles beat people who are back here. Their husbands or wives are calling them to give them information to tweet from the States.
Why can't they tweet?
The Brazilian, is it president or prime minister? Forgive me if I'm screwing up whatever they have. He had Elon and him got into a spat during the last Brazil election that he wanted his running mate to be punished for misinformation. Elon said, no, that's free speech. So then Brazil put a ban on Twitter in the entire country.
Okay.
No one can tweet.
Okay. All right. Well, that's I see Elon's going to be part of the Trump administration now. Did you see that today?
I did see that.
If
my Star Tribune.
If he happens to win.
I did.
I don't know. My loyalty to Twitter is being tested here, but I don't have the ability to comment on any other thing. So I haven't done. Declan just had to teach me how to move my screen so I could find my copy on on my Google Docs. So I'm hurting, to say the least, on my technical. I'd like to go someplace else with my tour. What was the one last year that was gonna
Threads?
A couple of years ago that was social. What was it?
Threads.
The one that was going to compete with them.
Yeah.
And then there was another one too, social something or other. I was on that one for 10 minutes. People are too nice, so you couldn't do that one. Nothing worked. So, what else we got? We got.
You have to tell us about your favorite place to get a car. That's what else we got.
That's right. Jim Paul and Brett Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers this weekend. Gorgeous weather's continuing here. Great time to go out shopping in either Hastings or Apple Valleys. Apple Valley. 4 different kinds of Buick SUVs. You got Yukons. You got the Sierra heavy-duty trucks that is the hottest truck going. GMC. You got low interest rates, 0.9, 1.9. You got factory rebates. Great time to buy a car again. As I've been saying, the old chip crisis is about 2 years in the rear view mirror now, and Every vehicle you want is out there, and the prices are good. They'll make a deal with you. Good used cars too. We've done a lot of business that way with them too. So Jim Paul and Brett Paul, Valley Group of GM dealers. Check them out this weekend. Today, get in
Out,
the car, get out there.
outstanding stuff,
Right.
Patrick. We will talk to you again on Monday.
All right, go Vikes! If the optimism will explode if you beat the Giants, and if you don't, then people will be very upset. So, who do you like? I like the Vikes by a
I
touchdown.
like the Vikings. I think we all
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
All
Giants
right.
are going to be bad.
Low scoring game, probably 24-14, 24-10, something like that. All right, see you later.
Absolutely.
Goodbye.
All right.
Thanks, Pat.
See you.
Royce
Oh,
Un-
gonna say something else, and we just cut him off. Oh well.
That's okay. Royce Unchained, Purple Daily, other stuff coming up later today.